All right, here we go. We're gonna go line item by line item on Robert Garcia's fight record for 2025. I got this. I got the in the previous video. I let's see. In the previous video, I don't know if you were able to see that right there, but I am going to share my screen with you. In the previous video, I showed my notes here on a screenshot of what Robert's year looked like. He had two big fights with Bam, Cafu versus Cafu and versus Pumita. Two big fights for Virgil, one versus Madrimov and one versus Lubin. Ray Murataya was crowned the 17th world champion versus Abdullayev. And then the contenders stayed super active. Lindolfo fought a couple times. Duarte fought a couple. Arturo Cardenas. Santillan stayed active. The rookies, the last time this amount of rookies turned pro in 1 year that I have, based on my records, was 2015 with Joshua Franco and Hector Tanahara, Genaro Gomez, and Jonathan Navarro. Cesar Donovan had a big comeback year. He went 3-0 after losing his pro debut in 2024. New to the team, Cougar, Anthony Cuba, Tashiro, Krisek Bazaldua. And then three fighters lost their O's, Panterita, Dan Cortez, and Leo Rubalcaba. But I want to go line item by line item. I want to go line item by line item on the fight record. I have it here on a Google sheet. When I grew up, we used to call this Excel. That was what the program was called. I guess Excel doesn't. Maybe it was bought out or something. I don't know, but I guess they call it Google Docs now, or it's for what I used to call Word, and Google Sheets is what I used to call, and what I still call Excel. So I'm going to try to screen share. I'm going to screen share my my Excel sheet, and then we're going to go line item by line item. I've been doing this for a few years. And here you go. See, for like my first one, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me know in the chat if you can't. The first fight of the year was Chino Rodriguez versus Omar Chavez. It was in San Luis Potosi. And then here I have the win column: wins, losses, draws, or DQs, and how many rounds it was. So Robert was not there. I also have that here in the notes that Chepe and Felipe were the ones there. Robert must have been somewhere else. Okay. Leo was supposed to fight that day, and it's in red because at some point that fight was canceled. Okay, the second fight of the year. Oh, that's okay. So this is where Robert was. Robert was with Leo Rubalcaba in Las Vegas on a DAZN card. The promoter was Eddie Hearn, and he fought to a draw. That's why it's in this pink color. The next fight in February was three fighters. Silvestre Quiñones, Figo Ramirez, Ethan Perez, and Dan Cortez. Dan fought to a no contest. That's why it's in pink. So at that point, the record is 4-0 and 1. So 4-0 with one draw and one no contest. Emiliano Alvarado's fight was canceled. Manuel Jaimes fought Abdullah Mason in New York. The only trainer there was Sam Garcia, and so I didn't count that as a win or a loss here. I'm sure Abdullah Mason won, but I didn't count that as a win or a loss. Oscar Duarte, who's fairly new to the team, he's been with the team a couple years. He fought in Anaheim versus Miguel Madueño. He was scheduled to fight Regis Prograis, is what I have here in my notes, and something happened with Regis, so they filled in with Madueño. That's a win for the team. The team's record at that point is 5-0 with one draw, one no contest. Antonio Mireles, the heavyweight from Iowa, fought in Jamestown. That was a Garcia Promotions event. David Navarro's fight was canceled. Anthony Cuba fought in Jamestown on the same night as Antonio Mireles. So now they're up to 7-0. That was an 8-rounder. Carlos Balderas, he was supposed to fight on UFC Fight Pass, which is with his promoter, Tom Loeffler. It looks like that fight was canceled. Virgil, 21-0. fought 10-1 Israel Madrimov in Saudi Arabia. That's a huge win. That's one of the biggest wins of the year. In my opinion, Virgil's 2 wins in 2025 are bigger than his fight in 2024 when Robert won the Trainer of the Year. So I think Virgil had a way bigger year than 2024 with this fight versus Madrimov, and then he ended the year fighting Lubin. These 3 fights here scheduled for March 1st were canceled. Jesus Martinez, known as Panterita, Caleb Zuniga, and Jose Luis Alceda. And then in March, Rayo lost to Gary Russell Jr., Gary Antoine Russell in New York. That was the rematch. So that was part of the reason that Robert Garcia won Trainer of the Year. The 3 biggest wins, in my opinion, of 2024 were Rayo winning over Russell, Bam winning over Estrada, and Virgil winning over Sergey Bohachuk. Gabriel Murataya, this is the older brother to Ray Murataya, fought in Long Beach. The record is now then 9-1, 1-1. These 2 fights got canceled. Jesus Martinez, I hope you can follow along. If not, then you're just going to get a dialogue from me. Jesus Martinez, 9-0, canceled. Jose canceled. Caleb Zuniga stayed on the card in Mercedes, Texas. Moves up the record to 10-0. That's a little 4-rounder, not 10-0, 10-1. Louis Coria fought Jesse Magdaleno. That was the 2nd loss for the team. That was a tough fight. That was a tough fight to see. The corner had to throw in the towel. That was a Garcia's promoted event. Anthony Cuba and Anthony Saldivar fought on that card. So now we're at 12-2-1-1. Alexis de la Cerda, a friend of Rayo, fought in Las Vegas. Emiliano Cárdenas, the younger brother to Arturo Cárdenas, fought in Sahuayo, Michoacán. So did Emiliano Alvarado. And the first pro debut of the year, Hector Beltran Jr. Hector Beltran Jr. is the son of one of the trainers for Virgil Ortiz from Grand Prairie, Texas. So 16-2-1 is the running record at that point. I'm going to go through this pretty fast. Lindolfo Delgado, Chop Chop, and Art Barrera all fought at the Palms in Las Vegas. They all got wins, 17, 18, and 19 wins there. Arturo Cárdenas fights in Atlantic City on the undercard of Boots Ennis and Stanionis on the zone. I don't know if that was on the televised portion or not, but Arturo Cárdenas improves to 16-0. Damian Sosa fought in Tijuana. He has a win. I've not seen him in the gym lately. I wonder if he is no longer part of the team. Well, I'll find out soon. Javier Zamarron is from El Güerito. I don't think he's from Milwaukee, but he is from that area. No, he is from Milwaukee. And he was supposed to fight in the Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia. This was the Grand Prix. And for some reason or another, he didn't end up going. Leo Rubalcabal's fight in Long Beach was canceled. Jose Ramirez, that was one of the toughest losses for the team. Devin Haney just wanted. I got to be careful how I choose my words. Devin Haney, after coming off a loss to a devastating knockdowns versus Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia testing positive for PEDs, definitely was very cautious in his first fight back after suffering that devastating loss to Ryan Garcia. So that's the 3rd loss of the year. Louis had lost, and somebody else had a loss. So and Rayo. So we're gonna continue. Chop Chop's fights get canceled in Las Vegas, but Art Barrera still fights. That's on Cinco de Mayo weekend. Javier Guerrero Cruz, that's nothing. I thought that would be he's not technically part of the team. Ray Murataya, this is the 17th world champion crowned versus Zaur Abdullayev. Ray Murataya has been with the team since he was 5-0. He is a local to Moreno Valley. His dad has trained him his entire life. He's been with the team for now. If he's 22-0, that means he's been with the team for 17 fights. And he is the 17th world champion. That's why I have it over here highlighted in blue. 17th world champion, IBF interim lightweight champion. He's going to be fighting Andy Cruz in 2026. Gio Santillan fought that on that same card. 24-3, 1-1 is the running record at that point. Chop Chop was supposed to be on that card. That fight gets canceled. Leo Rubalcaba's fight gets canceled in Long Beach under a Marv Nation card. And then here we go, Hector Beltran in his second fight of the year in Rosarito, joined by Emiliano Alvarado, who's 6-0, and Eric Oregon Pedraza Rodriguez, aka Oregon. Oregon turned pro debut. The running record is 27-3, 1-1. Dan Cortez fights in San Antonio. Ethan Perez fights in San Antonio. Emiliano Rodriguez, the younger brother to Arturo, fights in Morelia, Michoacan. 30 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest. Jesus Martinez suffers a loss in San Antonio. He had some family issues where I believe he lost his brother, and obviously it's going to be hard to focus in the gym and focus in your fight when such a devastating tragedy for him to lose his brother. So that ends up being the 4th loss for the team. Jesus Panterita Martinez, my prayers are with you, brother. Brandon Lee fought in the summer. He fought in Newark, New Jersey. 620. I have those dates flipped, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. Leo Ruiz fights in Long Beach, gets his win. Leo Rubalcaba gets the 5th loss for the team there versus Dorian Mendez. Emiliano Alvarado and Juan El Negro Sanchez get wins for the team. So the team is up to 33 wins, 5 losses, 1 loss, 1 no contest. Jonathan Navarro fights in Australia versus Liam Paro. I doubt he trained with RGBA, but I'm going to count it as part of the record because Pita was in his corner. You guys let me know if just because one of the trainers from RGBA, does that officially go into the record? You guys let me know. Eric Rodriguez Pedraza and Cesar Morales fights get canceled in Rosarito, Baja California. Raul Curiel Cougar fights in Anaheim. He adds a win. So now the running tally as a 10-rounder, 34-6, 1-1. He came back from behind to win that. He was Victor Esquiel Rodriguez really came to fight and was really earning his paycheck until Cougar took over. Panterita's fight is canceled. Carlos Valderas fights in Fresno. An 8-rounder, 35-6, 1-1 is the running record. A bunch of fights get canceled here. Emiliano's gets canceled. Angel Fierro versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz was rumored in Las Vegas. That gets canceled. And then here we have in July, one of the biggest fights of the year, Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Cafu. So that is a unification world championship title bout. He unified the WBC and the WBO. Arturo Cardenas was supposed to fight on that card. That got canceled. So was Javier Guerrero Cruz. That got canceled. The only one from the stable that got to fight on the undercard of Jesse Bam Rodriguez is Hector Beltran. Hopefully in negotiations, he gets to put more people on his undercards. Jesse Rodriguez, I'm sure that's Robert's new plan with Jesse Bam Rodriguez. If he re-signs with Matchroom, then hopefully that gets into the contract. Emiliano Cardenas fights in Morelia, Michoacan. That's 38-6, 1-1. Oregon fights again, adds another win in Tijuana. Flavio Burgueno, Bolo, his nickname is Bolo, turns pro. 40 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest. Cesar fights. Jesus Panterita's fights gets canceled. Chop Chop and Art Barrera fight at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, adding 2 more wins. Oscar Duarte, this was a huge fight in Chicago, Illinois on the zone. 44-6, 1-1. These 3 fights get canceled. Javier Zamarron fights in Pomona. I almost went to go film that fight. I live real close. My parents live close to Pomona. Ethan Perez adds a win in San Antonio, 46-1-1. Misael Rodriguez was supposed to fight Ricardo Banuelo Cernas on a Zamfir card. He came in 19 pounds overweight. The fight didn't go through. That fight gets canceled. Eric Pedraza fights in Rosarito. So does Cesar Morales, win 48 and win 47. Hector Bertran fights in Los Mochis, win 49 on a Matchroom Eddie Hearn Box Stars co-promotion. Emiliano Alvarado fights in Las Vegas on a turkey card. That must have been the Friday before Terrence Crawford versus it was right before a big fight. I don't know if it's Crawford because I think the Crawford Canelo was in the Middle East, but I don't know. Anthony Cuba fights in Florida, adds another win. That's the 50th win for the team. Two more guys turn pro. Felipe Campa's son, Temoc, and Louis Coria. So that's 51 and 52. Eric Rodriguez, Oregon, was supposed to fight. His fight gets canceled. This fight is the DQ. I don't remember the last time Robert Garcia fighter had a disqualification. So that moves the record to 52 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, 1 DQ. And over here I have the losses: Rayo, Louis, Jose Ramirez, Panterita, Rubalcaba, Navarro, and Cortez. So I'm running a tally over here. Cristic Balzaldua adds 1 to the win column. Sotos, Chop Chop in Long Beach. Emiliano Rodriguez and Sawayo Morelos. Emiliano Rodriguez and Sawayo Morelos adds another one, win 55. All these guys on October 25th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fighters in one night. So that's 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. 62 is the running tally of wins. Jesus Panterita. Oh, he's already from his loss after he's already had a comeback win. So good for him. Good for Panterita. Caleb Zuniga's fight gets canceled. Virgil Ortiz, we're already in the 4th quarter of the year. Virgil Ortiz wins versus Lubin in Fort Worth on a Golden Boy promoted event. That I will Control X, Control V. The 64th win for the team. Figo and Hector's fights get canceled off that card. Sometimes it's usually the opponents that miss weight. So then that forces the fighter to withdraw. Dan Cortez suffers his loss in San Antonio. He was 11-0, and that's probably one of the biggest drawbacks of the year. Dan Cortez 11-0. While the entire team is with Virgil in Fort Worth, in San Antonio, Dan Cortez suffers a loss. So now we have a running tally over here. If you want to check that out, Ethan Perez wins. Lindolfo Delgado fights Goyas for the 66th win. Jesse Bam Rodriguez in Riyadh fights Pumita Fernando Martinez, 67-7-1-1-1. That's a WBC WBO unification. And Javier Samarron fights in Temecula, wins 68. Carlos Valderas wins in Fresno on a Gary Jonas Pro Box card. And then on 12-12, Luisito Temoc, Oregon, Hector, and Cesar all get wins in Tijuana, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. None of these are in box rec. That's the first time I haven't seen these guys have their wins in box rec. So I will be following up with that. And then the last fight of the year on 12-13 last Saturday was Arturo Cardenas. He looked spectacular in Stockton on a Matchroom Eddie Hearn promoted event. The main event was Pacheco. And then Caleb Zuniga's fight was canceled for 7-0. So there you have it. That's how I keep track. That's 25 looks like. Hopefully it came out. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. This RGBA busy. Yep. JC, let me know in the comments if you're still here, if you're able to do that. That's my first time screen sharing, and I went through it pretty fast. But let me know if you're able to see that. I want to go back. Let me see. Let me screen share let me screen share. Let me see this. Not that one, but this Google Doc. He says, I'm here. Let me know, brother. Let me know if you're able to see the Excel spreadsheet. This was something that I typed up really quick. The biggest wins for the year were Cafu Pumita and Madrimov Lubin. Ray Murataya crowned champion. The rookies that turned pro. Yeah, but I just stop sharing. And this is my first time doing this, so no, couldn't see it. Oh, okay, so I got to get better at doing this. All right, so I will do my research and continue to try to figure this out, because I have share screen. There's the Google Sheet. And I think you're supposed to be able to see that. Convert to drop down chips. Oh man. Well, it's a learning process. There's nothing I can do if it didn't come up. Stop sharing. Oh, here it is. Now my face is on there. Oh, all right. So I think I did that whole thing with just my voice. Uh, but here it is now. Well, at least this is a learning curve for me. So here it is. The reason I know it looks different. Yeah, now I can. Yeah. All right. So sorry about that. But this is what it looks like. A I just run a screen with the date, the fighter's name versus their opponent, their location, whether it was televised or not, the promoter, and then and then over here I run a wins, loss, draw, or DQ. I'm sorry, I did that for 20 minutes and I don't think you got anything out of it. But it's a learning process. I'm gonna go through it. I'm just gonna scroll through it. I have this little up here. I have this little color coded uh, little boxes where anytime something's in pink, it was either it's either a draw or a loss, and then if anything's in bright red, that means the fight was canceled. These ones, oh, so I can't scroll through it. I can. Okay, so that's gonna be weird. So I'm gonna have to go sheet by sheet. So maybe it'll take. Let me see if this is 3 months. It's gonna take 4 or 5 screenshots or sheets for me to go over the entire thing. Hmm. Oh well. Thanks for being here, JC. Like I said, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to figure this out. So I guess for now I can screenshot. I can broadcast a screenshot of the page. So all I got to do is screenshot 4 pages, so that I could get everything on there and just go line item by line item. My bad. Anyways, thanks for being here. I'm going to continue to try to get better at this technology stuff. I think it's very vital. I think it's important information. Like I said, I don't think I should just be tracking Robert. If you guys want me to track Manny Robles or maybe fighters like Inoue and his dad, maybe he just doesn't train his sons. Maybe he trains 10, 15 other fighters or amateurs. So um yeah, if you have interest in me doing stuff like that, write me a comment. If you have insider information where you already know the list of fighters for the Diaz brothers or Freddie Roach or somebody in the UK like Ben Davison, email me. You can email me at sonteo.media. Abel Sanchez would be a good one, definitely. um, you can email me at sonteo.media@gmail, a list, and then I will start a new sheet for them. This one is pretty easy for me because I've been doing it for a few years. This one I've been tracking probably since way back, probably since 2015, 2016. I started off by handwriting them, and now I got it on a spreadsheet. So this makes it 10 times easier. But I really like to know to compare apples to apples to other fighters like JC just mentioned, where I could do Abel Sanchez or Ben Davison or Bomac. There's uh, Barry Hunter. There's dozens and dozens of coaches that I think deserve this type of recognition, where we as media or we as fans or just people in general, where we could just keep track of their professional coaching records. So thanks for joining me. I promise this is a learning curve for me where I get to. I thought that I was going to be able to go through the list and be able to scroll through my sheet here, but no, it just looks like it's a frozen screenshot of the record. But there you go, you kind of get a general idea of how I do this, and how I keep track of Robert's coaching record. So once again, thanks for being here, and catch you on the next one.